What? Which doctor it is?
Well, CSW went for a Leshrac, so they've probably got ES Lesh, safe lane, Winter Wyvern, Bristleback off lane, then Shadow Fiend towards the mid. And it does bolster out their lanes quite a bit. Edict on Lesh, I'm still not sure whether they'll be maxing that out. We saw it from Teehee in the previous series on TNC, which is relatively unusual. You know, Split Earth max, Lightning, and then Pulse Nova. Head into that Bloodstone BKB. But if you're capable of pushing into these towers with an SF mech and Bristleback, what do you actually look for? Vanguard into SNY, an early AC? Multiple options you can actually go for.
I mean, I think Vlad's is a very decent option as well. Because DK is, early on, he's somewhat magical, but as a mid-game approach, he's mostly physical. So, I'm a big fan of stacking things like Vlad's AC, but, you know, Bristleback's one of those heroes that can get a whole bunch of different items and still have very high impact. So we'll see. It looks like we're going to have relatively the same starting item, but this time Godot is going bottom with Boots and a Shadow Fiend. I can't tell if they're just scouting for runes, but...
I'm pretty sure they're safeguarding bot rune. The fact that Leshrac has gone for a Soul Ring recipe indicates that he's going to be going onto that bot lane with some support. Wedding Crash has gone for, a midway point between Bottle Rush and Not. He picked up a Circlet as well as the two branches with the Pool Tango, so it's not a full-on Bottle Rush, while 343 on the Earthshaker towards mid lane. And we're blocking up while they secure the Mantis in a bot, but again we see the same ward from Black Shaitan. That Observer on top of the Roche Pit. Difficult to de-ward, not very common, but it still gives you a good amount of vision and intel.
Yeah. Interesting to note that Wisp has actually bought a pair of Sentry, so he's down 200 gold. And with that, I don't think he's going to go mid, because going mid, then you need the fast bottle ASAP. So I think he's going to go safe lane and go low at pulling. We're going to see a true 1v1 on the mid lane for this particular game. DK versus Leshrac? No, DK versus Shadow Fiend.
Yeah, they really need to limit the vision the Bristleback gets, because 2D can go and man fight up against the Witch Doctor and or Wisp. You know, one versus two, even if the Rocket Barrage from Gyrocopter isn't there and available, if he's stuck in a creep wave, missing out on some last hits is not really the situation you want to be in, and Slick's up on his top lane. But who's behind him? Lord Boon's on the Wisp. I've got Extinct on that Witch Doctor. Mid is going to be WTF on that Dragon Knight. Trying very hard not to say the name he's tagged up as now, but Wedding Crash Shadow Fiend is going to be his opponent middle lane. Godot already looking to hold out that range creep, and double Iron Shell incoming, triple to follow. Shaitan with his darks here. Actually going to get slowed down. Lightning, he's dropped to half HP, and they know he's got Iron Shell level 1, so why not throw out the harass?
Yeah. It's more important about not really going for the kill, but zoning him away from the experience range. Generally, when you throw down double Iron Shell, you just ride a quick wave, and it's hard for a Line or a Rubik, like a very squishy support, to harass you, because if they do and they draw the aggro of a double Iron Shell, Darkseer wins that lane automatically. But what Godot did was use that 1000 attack range. Look at what they're both doing. They're just running into Shaitan and making sure that he doesn't get that level 2. And now that he snuck in there and got the level 2, he could easily get more and more levels because of Surge.
Dragon Knight started off his laning phase 4-0 in terms of last hits, so he's not only going even, but definitely trading very well up against the Shadow Fiend, running through the regen as well. The Wraith Band from SF, no fast bottle. He actually stops with that circlet to go back into the Wraith Band, while the DK is already bottle crowing. Yeah. So WTF off to a great start on his DK mid, while Extinct has found an Observer up at top. They'll Sentry, they'll D-ward, and they'll clear that through, so Bristleback not going to have any vision of them, while they have a lane ward on this top lane.
To be fair though, I think the Shadow Fiend that could keep even, and now even overtaking on the DK is pretty impressive. Because, you know, with the fact that Shadow Fiend has fairly low base damage, and that Fire Breath would take away base damage from the other side, I think the DK could be doing actually better than he's currently doing.
Chains going for Boots, holding on to that Soul Ring recipe for now, and both sides bottle crowing. Wedding Crash with his ready and waiting, raising through everything. You know, level 2 raises is great against this DK, who's shoving the lane with that Breathe Fire, and it's difficult to handle. Both runes we actually saw going the way of Radiant, as the Bounty went the way of the Bristleback, and Illusion Rune picked up by Godot bot. Shaitan has hit, oh, he's still not hit level 3. I thought he would have got up a little bit more. They're being zoned out so heavily by this Winter Wyvern. Shaitan, get back. Soul Ring, nowhere to be seen as we actually have a double bottle here. Top lane, who's getting chased down, is 2D, the homing missile, not leveled up, just a few stuns thrown out, forcing him back. But look at the damage done to Invasion. Wisp, no HP left.
Yeah, they need a salve and re-tether. Well, suddenly they have a lot of HP left because tether heal is pretty broken, actually.
A double heal. Last hit-wise, pretty even across the board. Wisp getting a few more last hits in there, but, you know, comparing off-laners, it's completely even. DK and Shadow Fiend, SF's ahead a tiny bit, but there's no big advantages to be had. After we leave the laning phase, let's look at sort of 9-10 minutes in. We expect Jericho to have Phase, Ring of Aquila, maybe heading into a Yasha or a Helm of the Dominator, possibly drums. We've seen, you know, all of these items have their merits. Bottom lane, Shaitan taking a ton of damage, but not going to get dropped. Then, you know, Leshrac, he builds up pretty quickly. If he goes with the Soul Ring into Yule's build, he can be active incredibly early on. He could sit back a little bit and just farm the Bloodstone, though.
Yeah, I think farming the Bloodstone is probably the best. Although, it seems like the entirety of CSW just wants to sit back and farm. Same thing with Shadow Fiend. At least farm kills a mech. Which is fine, I guess. It's not like Invasion's looking to gank. I think this is going to be pretty much a Resident Sleeper game for the next 15 minutes. Everybody's going to farm.
I think the main thing is here, yes, Leshrac and Shadow Fiend want to farm, but the fact that Bristleback is off lane and he's not getting guaranteed last hits and guaranteed gold income, he needs items the most. Like, out of all of them. Oh, man.
Missed first blood. Sorry, team.
We failed, team. That's a haste on Shadow Fiend, though. All of a sudden.
Haste on Shadow Fiend, I guess a couple of good raises and...
Earthshaker Fisher.
Yeah, Earthshaker for the top lane, though Bristleback taking a ton of damage. Although he's dealing a lot of damage back, thanks to the fact that his quills are stacking. He will actually get up going down, but... Oh, God. If he had, like, maybe one more magic stick charge or something like that, because it looked that close.
Yeah, 343 did TPN, but Clarity not fast enough to regen his mana. He didn't have a Fisher to throw out there.
Oh, by the way, Godot making yet another go. Doing a ton of harass against Shaitan. This is actually a pretty dangerous stack that he did on the left side of the jungle. Because if, you know, Shaitan ever get to walk in there, he could get a ton of go from this stack. But he's doing an excellent job keeping the Darkseid completely away from the jungle and the lane.
And you'd assume this goes to the Leshrac, right? If you wanted to stack to the Shadow Fiend, we'd actually see one further over to the west. The large camp stacked up once for the SF. So yeah, that's going to go to the Leshrac, farm up into the Bloodstone a little bit faster.
Something that the SF needs to be cognizant about this game is that when he walks away like this to do the jungle farm, that Dragon Knight could just ultimate and start doing some pressure on this tower. I don't think DK would do it now, but eventually, when DK just disappears, or sorry, when Shadow Fiend disappears in the jungle, look towards DK, start doing some good damage. Looks like he's actually trapped in the jungle though. Or trapped in the lane.
Fisher gets the Wisp, but there's no real chase here for CSW. So they reset, get back to their lanes, but that's DK and Wisp now going back into the jungle. There's a little stack here for the Dragon Knight, but Breathe Fire, it's available, not going for it. Wants to get back onto his own lane. Up at top, cooldown looks like that was thrown out onto the Bristleback. Not sure if that was defensive or aggressive. I'm assuming defensive. The fact that Jaro is low on HP and Earthshaker was there, ready, waiting in the wings. Extinct is mid, defending the Dragon Knight. Just holding on, holding his hand for now, and Godot just continues the stacking. So it is passive play. Wedding Crash is clearing through that stack though. Gonna get him up to what, level 8? Level 8.5? Something like that. He's got Bottle, Ring of Aquila, Magic Wand. What's he playing at here?
Probably just a mech. I don't see any reason to not take it.
Yeah, finish off your treads now, then go into mech.
My goodness, I'm just watching these numbers pop up for...
Ding. Ding.
Yeah, that's Shadow Fiend so fat. He actually has the entire mech once he finished the big stack in the left. Which is kind of ridiculous.
A 7.5 or an 8-minute mech.
I also miss the days where Shadow Fiend actually got mech. Or sorry, got Midas. It's not exactly a very common build.
The Arteezy Shadow Fiend, Fisher mid. They've got the Arctic Burn there as well. And WTF, 1 raise, 2 raise, and dropped. Dragon Knight A hero that, you know, needs a relatively good start.
Yeah.
He's usually tanky and not susceptible to these roaming gangs, but 343 has been on point with his Fisher. Witch Doctor, they find a kill on Let's Track at bottom lane and limit his farm.
Shadow Fiend, or
That's
sorry.
the cooldown on top lane. 2D, there's action on all three lanes. They're going in here with the Rocket Barrage. 2D turns to face them, tanks it up and drops.
Big difference this game. Slicks actually is going to be in it. Last game, he was forcibly removed by Abaddon dueling. TP on the mid lane. He wants to get the denied. Slicks coming in, threatening with the Rocket Barrage. Shaker is on the high ground. Can't drop off with the stun. I think he will stun on the back line, but Lord Boons is coming in, thanks to giving a little bit of oh, he's taking a ton of damage from Wedding Crasher. Will barely survive thanks to Overcharge. Wedding Crasher being zoned away by Slicks. 2D teleports back in. Looks like Fly trying to get a backward kill. Look at that Wisp. He's so low health. He's still surviving. Great play.
Wisp was on 1 health after the right click from Wedding Crash. That's how close he got. He had stick charges, managed to use like 1 stick charge to stay alive a little bit longer, but holy crap. You know, okay, overcharge, that gets in there, and you say, yeah, he dropped a little bit, but playing it that tight. Wisp gotta count your lucky stars. As Dragon Knight gets to deny the mid-tier 1 Shadow Fiend, he stayed alive though. And how close to mech? Oh, he finished off treads. So he finished off treads first, and now he's building into that mech, and it's 650 gold away.
I think the big winner of that fight for Invasion is Shaitan. He was not even there. Just silently, quietly pushed the bottom lane and got a little bit of solo farm, which he really needs to start catching up. This Darkseer, it seems like he's going for either like Hood. I imagine this is a Hood. Unless he's just upgrading his boots to Tranquil, which I don't think he needs.
Is there a reason you wouldn't go mech on this Darkseer?
Oh yeah, no, mech is the obvious choice. For a second, I thought he was on the same team as Shadow Fiend. And I thought Shadow Fiend was going mech, but yeah, you're right. He's going for the mech.
Witch Doctor's going for Urn, Wisp. Wait a second. Or maybe that Gauntlet is not for an Urn on the Witch Doctor.
Yeah, but he's got a Sage and Gauntlet.
And Wisp has double Gauntlet. I'm wondering.
Communication, man.
Maybe. But I mean, the Witch Doctor can switch that into a medallion, right? Oh, WTF, top rune spot, finds 343. The stun, no longer available. The ticking over. He's back to the fountain, he's fine.
Yeah. Although I think that's a slight win for Invasion. Force out TP.
Well, Dragon form has been used as well.
Yep.
And now DK is limited on mana. That haste rune could have been a big move to go and push into a tower, find a kill behind it, something along those lines. But they will actually TP Extinct down to bot. Shaitan, level 5, close to level 6. 2 experience away as the 3-man pressure comes down on bot lane. Mech is on its way on the courier, I'm assuming. Yeah. Mechanism recipe and a headdress, both on the way to Shadow Fiend.
So normally you actually don't level up your Maledict. A lot of people just get a single point of value point, and some players you just skip it entirely. Some player get the value point and just go for the stats, because Witch Doctor definitely needs as much HP and health, or HP and mana as possible. It is very interesting that he leveled it up. Maybe they're feeling they don't have enough damage, because if you look at CSW, the team is actually very tanky. Both that top lane, the Lord Brute's taking a ton of damage, Splinter Blast dropping him low, Lightning, the long cast range of Lightning will pick the Wisp off.
Yeah, the Maledict, we've seen swings in sort of popularity of builds from Witch Doctor. There was that point, remember, when we had people maxing Voodoo Restoration in the TI4 compendium.
I've seen everything. I see max Maledict, I see max Voodoo, and obviously right now max Cast is the thing.
And then I've seen like a 4-2-2 build with stats and people just completely missing Maledict. I like Maledict when the Witch Doctor is a zoning support against something like a Beastmaster or a Bristleback, when you can go there and trade hits. You know, you throw down the Maledict, you right-click them, and you force them out of lane very early on. Here, how do you get in close? How do you get this Maledict off? Are you looking for like DK stun into Maledict after Dragon form? Because there's Fisher, Split Earth, there's Bristleback running through you all.
Here's the deal, right? You search a Witch Doctor. You vacuum into 5-man Valedict, and
then you call down, you destroy everyone. Stun out to his caught under his tier 1, the Maledict does slam onto him and he's taking a ton of damage. Meanwhile though, WTF is getting chipped away at the tether, the heal, and Dragon Knight should be able to just walk it off. They save their tier 1, but they lose the Bristleback again, and he is a hero that if he dies over and over again, farm progression stops completely, his impact halts. and you're kind of left with this guy who normally is the tanky frontliner, and he just becomes a throwaway hero.
Yeah, that's the reason why we don't see off-lane Bristleback nearly as much anymore. Simply for that reason. You have a bad start like he is doing right now, it is just so hard to claw yourself back in the game.
Yeah. See him with, you know, a support in the off lane, a Dazzle or something like that. We used to see Dazzle Axe, Dazzle Bristleback, safe lane dual lane, safe lane tri lane, just to secure. You know, you think of Illidan on VP, you secure the Vanguard, the S and Y, and you go and run at people.
Yeah. Right now, he could barely run away. Pretty big issue. Mid lane surging forward-ish a ton, maybe scaring Red and Crasher a bit. And you were saying, what is Gyrocopter going to do for mid-game? Well, he's got the answer. He's going very farm-intensive. Midas, Helm, and I'm surprised that there's no dominated creep yet for the attack.
You've got Midas on your mind. Yasha Helm.
Yeah. Did I say Midas?
Yeah. You got Midas on the brain.
I mean,
after last game.
It's essentially like the Midas with carries, right? Yeah.
It accomplishes the same thing pretty much. Increases farm speed, gives you that pretty much guaranteed gold income as long as you can find a jungle camp to get through.
Midas is like my favorite item in the game. It's the only item that generates gold out of nowhere. Or more gold than,
And experience.
Yeah.
I think for a lot of heroes, experience is the big thing. You know, getting to level 11 or level 16, maybe even getting to, you know, 13, 14, because there are such big gaps.
Yeah.
The
way that spells scale and the hero gets better. CSW is running a 5-man push. Something I'd like to see a little bit more from them in the next 5 to 10 minutes, because they get the mech advantage. Darkseer doesn't have this yet, and won't have it for the next 400 gold.
Well, Leshrac, where is your Bloodstone? 14, 15 minutes in, you kind of expect Bloodstone to be nearly completed with a safe lane farming Leshrac, but he's 1-1-0, hasn't made any fighting impact, and he's stopped off to get a magic wand, buy TPs, get back to lane, and they haven't given him any jungle priority. They're now stacking up the large camp once again. There's Star Observer Ward though, I'm going to spot it out and see what they're up to.
Actually, his farm, CS-wise, is actually terrible. If you look at the last hit, it's Shadow Fiend 120, Gyro's 120, and the next one is at 60 with a Shrek.
Yeah.
Same thing with the Dragon Knight. Very little farm, so I think most of this game is going to be decided by the Shadow Fiend in the early game, because he's got the mech, he's actually pushing. And Gyrocopter, despite the fact that he's got 120 CS, where is his item? He's got like an Ochre Club. And that's it.
Going straight into that BKB. Yeah, it could be Sand and then going to Silver Edge. What kind of... I guess the Bristleback Silver Edge would be great. You have that initiation tool with the Dragon Knight, you get in there and you have that break.
Need that Silver Edge.
Gotta get that Silver Edge. BKB is building up for a Wedding Crash, the Shadow Fiend though. You've gotta say that passive play here, it favors invasion. The longer the game goes with Vacuum Wall, the Dragon Knight, the Gyrocopter, their farming capabilities, the backdoor potential or the movement from Wisp, Tether and Relocate. CSW, if they continue farming like this, okay, maybe Bristol gets some items here with this Ancient stack that they're clearing through. But the actual choices of items that we're seeing from Invasion are much more mid and further, you know, into the late game oriented.
I mean, that's what we saw CSW have problem with last game, right? They had a huge lead, they didn't really maybe feel confident pushing high ground or didn't want to push high ground. As a result, you know, Invasion almost had a chance of coming back.
Both teams taking Ancient stacks. Who got the majority of the farm over in the Radiant one? Was it Bristleback?
I think it was shared between Shadow Fiend and Bristleback.
Okay, because over in the Dire it is Gyrocopter all the way. He's going to finish off S and Y if he wants it, or that's just a casual Yasha for farming speed and movement speed, and goes into a BKB with that Ogre Club.
I think either way is fine.
Yeah, you just tank up.
Yeah.
What are we seeing? The Urn went over to the Witch Doctor, so there's double Gauntlet from the Wisp, not really doing too much.
Stats, it's alright. 7 kills in 17 minutes. Resident Sleeper.
You called it mid-draft. You knew it was coming. Bloodstone on the way? No, still one recipe away for change. Bottle dropped. In the middle of the lane. Invasion, go on, relocate on the bottle, steal it. 100% worth it, you know you want it.
I would relocate for that courier.
Relocate for the bottle and the courier. That's definitely worth.
It's such a slow game that if you use relocate for a small kill, whatever.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Roshan not been attempted just yet. Invasion, they've got a pretty damn good way to get in there and turn a fight around, but CSW could take it pretty quickly. Edict not been skilled up at all by the Leshrac, so pushing power has been limited a tiny amount by that. And the fact that you look at Invasion, they're split pretty thin across this map. They've got, what, 1.5 heroes top. The Wisp doesn't do anything apart from defending the gyrocopter. You've got one hero, the Extinct, is moving sort of towards the mid lane as a stopgap. In case he's needed, he can move mid or top. And then 2 heroes mid, Shaitan and WTF.
Mid lane looks like, nice
Stop him block here, man. No, he's gonna get through the surge. Split up now, slowing him down. Tootie gets in there. The stun have to onto the brutal bag, holds him in place, and now they've got to walk through the wall. Illusions are out. They've got nothing to stop WTF from just TPing himself away. They get the tier 2 at top. An Invasion come away with a pretty big win there.
Yeah, that was a huge win. I mean, the tier 2 top is not exactly as important as a tier 2 mid or a tier 2 bottom, but any spike of gold is going to be good. Looks like we do have that BKB finished on Gyrocopter. So the Midas Yasha helm has paid off. And when I say Midas Yasha helm, the Midas is not there, but Midas-esque Yasha, and the Midas-esque helm.
It's there in spirit, right?
Yeah.
It's the playstyle that's the Midas. The farming Gyrocopter, taking these stacks, taking these ancients. Really being very efficient. There's Shadowblade for the DK as well. So they've got their initiation tool, they've got their teamfight ultimate survivability. They really are coming online now. Mech on Shaitan with another 600 gold to spare. And point booster over on Extinct. The Witch Doctor building into Aghanims already.
Jeez.
What are we seeing actually in terms of net worth lead? CSW had a 1500 lead a good 2 or 3 minutes ago. There's actually a fight kicking off over towards the Ancients. WTF is relocated back to his fountain. There's a Bloodstone done for Leshrac, and they're going to wait around for the Wisp. They're not getting anyone ready for him to tether back to. Gyrocopter sort of moved his way over, twitching towards the Wisp. But that's just going to be a pick-off down to more boots.
Checking on the Go, yeah, if you look at GoGraph, it's just so close this game. Nobody has a decisive lead, but it could change very quickly because CSW poising out for Roche. Already starting to hit it.
Gotta be careful though. Invasion with their 4 heroes, they're moving over there. They've got a dire observable that has scouted all of this out. They know they're in the pit. With Vacuum level 2, Wall level 1, this could be WTF. They smoke up. Was that in range of vision? I don't think they know at all. Shadowblade straight in. 343 is caught, stunned up and dead instantly. The Requiem from Wedding Crash sure is going to do a bit of damage. The Vacuum should not keep him alive. Doesn't drop the wall. He didn't get it off in time. Deathborn is now doing damage, but WTF is all alone on the high ground.
Where was the wall?
He just didn't cast.
Where's the vacuum?
Where's the Gyrocopter? Where's the cooldown? They were there. They were ready. There were 4 heroes moving in. And somehow they just split up. They went one by one. There was no cohesion, no plan to go on a certain specific hero. It seemed like the DK was like, right, I'll cut them off on the pass. I'll go onto the high ground to do this. And the other heroes just didn't follow suit.
I mean, it was a great play, in my opinion, by the DK. Just go on the back line and set things up for the resting by killing the Shaker. Because if Shaker was there to break things up with the Fissure, I think Invasion would have actually lost more than they did. Fortunately, nothing really came out of it. I think maybe Shaitan needs to get a Blink Dagger to find those big vacuums.
Maybe if he had higher level in Vacuum. Yeah, I'm not saying it's possible because level 4 Iron Shell is so good now with that reduced cooldown, but if he was level 10 at that point, level 11, something along those lines, then you know, maybe you take that fight a little bit easier or you get a couple more kills. But I don't understand why you don't just drop the wall straight away into the pit. You know they're in there.
Yeah.
You know there's at least 1 hero in there. Just drop the wall. You know you've got an illusion of a Shadow Fiend.
I mean, it's really hard to know, I guess, from the caster. Maybe the player just was looking at somewhere else. Maybe he didn't think it was a good idea. Any case, did not happen.
Yeah. So now Invasion have themselves back into jungle. Extinct. A couple of observables. Still sticking with that point booster. Gyrocopter, Slick, 1700. Sanjin Yasha, Mantis style, something with that Yasha because his BKB now down to 9 seconds. One duration used already. And it's actually a Bracer that the Wisp builds up. Gauntlet of Strength into Bracer. And Shaitan with an Ogre Club. So maybe BKB for him. Stop the Split Earth, the Fisher, Requiem of Souls, that was pretty big though from the Shadow Fiend in the last fight.
Yeah.
The Requiem slowing them down, the damage reduction, everything playing pretty well into their hands.
I wonder when the next decisive point is. I think it might be at the next Roshan, but it feels like Golden Straight, we're gonna just have a very, very slow kind of farming oriented game.
What's the pick off here? Because Earthshaker has Blink Dagger, he's got nowhere to TP to, so it's always going to be 4 heroes from CSW actually being the aggressors into the Dire jungle. The Dire, they're farming their own Ancients, they've got Witch Doctor and Wisp always standing behind that Gyrocopter just to be safe. Dragon Knight, can he go and find solo pickoffs? Is he capable as a hero with his itemization right now to go and find a 1v1?
No, I don't think so. If he has the Iron Shell, then yeah.
Because Winter Wyvern heals himself and survives through the right clicks. Bristleback, Shadow Fiend, and Leshrac, no chance there. Earthshaker with a blink, you know, he's not going to be able to spot him out, but Fisher Echo Slam, he'll be able to stun him long enough to escape, so...
Yeah. Maybe the more appropriate question is, can you guys deal with the Leshrac? He's coming in for the base with the Aegis.
So do you think DK needs to go for BKB instead of Silver Edge just because time is not on his side?
No, I think you definitely go for the Silver Edge. Maybe at the early stage of the fights, you just like, ignore the Leshrac and just kill everybody else, call down the game, just pushing a little bit.
Well, they've got both lanes, mid and bot, pushing in. Tier 2 at top, gonna get dropped by Wedding Crash though. Shadow Fiend with a few more right clicks in here as Invasion back up. They do have a hold on the Radiant jungle. But equally, the Radiant have a... Well, they could have had a hold in the Dire jungle. But they decided to just TP themselves back.
I mean, it feels like, judging from the last game, despite the fact that Invasion lost, I feel like they have a stronger late game play. They generally make less mistakes. Don't have silly deaths, and don't forget to carry TP, like random stuff like that. You don't generally catch Invasion misplaying. And again, I want to reiterate, CSW, this game just can't do too much, as opposed to the last game where they were up a lot and chose to not do too much.
Oh wow, I didn't realize it was that easy. Like I saw the 1500 sort of 3k swing between the teams, but now
it's like a zero.
There's almost nothing in it. Experience-wise, you know, CSW have a slight lead. This game, they do have 2 heroes that can go up onto high ground and hammer away at those tier 3 towers, though. Leshrac and Shadow Fiend definitely capable of that, especially once SF has the Skadi. Bristleback, you kind of slot into that as well. You can go behind the tier 3, maybe look for the zoning. It's a little bit scary, but 6 to 5, 25 minutes in. CSW, they've got all of the outer towers destroyed. Invasion, you know, there's 1 Radiant tier 2 remaining. It's on 300 HP. It's not a massive deal there. But high ground defense from Invasion is infinitely more strong than CSW. I think the only thing CSW have really is Blink Echo Slam, but then follow through with the rest of their spells. Invasion, they have got a multitude of AoE abilities to hold on to these ramps.
Well, what we've seen in the past is, you have a lot of AoE, but CSW just don't clump. They spread really far out. Like, remember that, was it 2 games ago where we saw Paul Lason on the Darkster and he was trying to run in and trying to get off a good vacuum? And maybe at best he just got like 1 or 2.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the vacuum is nice, but I don't think that's the end all be all.
So then, plan B, if CSW do split, what's your single target focus? How do you kill 1 hero for Invasion? Death Ward, Maledict, DK Stun? You kind of have to throw the kitchen sink at someone to kill 1 hero, right?
Yeah.
Especially if it's Leshrac or Bristleback.
Yeah, that's the thing though. If you throw the kitchen sink just to kill a target, then everybody else says, alright, okay, all your spells are down?
We'll pile in?
Yep. And that's, I think, how Invasion lost the game, because they threw everything on the Leshrac, and Leshrac says, okay, Aegis, I'm back. And that was it, because they didn't have any spells left to kill him again.
Then Echo Slam and a follow through, yeah, you're right. BKB is done by WTF on this Dragon Knight, so Shadowblade and BKB, he can still go into that Silver Edge in a little bit to disable a few of these little things. Get rid of 2D's Bristleback. Get is that it actually? There's only 1 passive he can disable.
Yep. Oh, I guess Necromancer. No, Shadow Fiend's Aura.
No, neither of them get disabled.
Oh really?
I believe. That's what I was told the other day.
Why does it disable the Lifesteal Aura? Not sure.
The minus armor?
Yeah.
Let's find out. Shadow Fiend.
Is it affected by silver?
Oh no, it does get rid of the minus aura.
I mean, I don't think that's ever your primary target, but you know, if it happens, it happens. I think for Shadow Fiend, you really want to use it on him when the BKB is expired, simply for the fact that you reduce 40% of the damage output. So all the raises, Requiem, physical attack that gets thrown out. Oh, sorry, when I said that it reduces 40%, I don't mean just physical attack, I mean everything from that hero. So spells,
Radiant's
items.
bottom tower is under attack.
What is that? British Fire.
No, Silver Edge, 40% damage reduction proc. Works on everything, not just physical attack.
Well, both lanes being pushed down here by Invasion. They move from mid to bot through the jungle. They have just been so methodical with their movements. Top lane isn't really a threat for them, so they sort of let that push in. They can TP back and clear through those waves when they want. Witch Doctor getting closer to that. Aghanim Scepter is farming his own jungle. I don't think at any point Invasion have felt scared or worried like they were in the previous game. Where they were sort of like, oh, we're going to get jumped on by this, we're going to get jumped on by that. CSW, they have one jump hero, that's Earthshaker. And if Invasion have the warding they do now, where they see exactly the movement through the Radiant jungle towards their bot lane, towards their top lane. They've just lost their ward in their own jungle up at top, so probably see that refreshed by the Wisp sometime soon. He's got Observer Wards over on the Courier. I just don't think that Dragon Knight or Gyrocopter are ever in a situation where they're thinking, well, we can't farm here. They always have room to farm.
Yeah. I mean, the past 15 minutes we got 2 kills, so... Interesting Dota.
Gem on Godot though, gonna try and limit that vision and then maybe try and find some kills.
There's no vision to be limited. Okay, there's one on the high ground. They'll probably find it now.
Well, there's 3 Dire Observers all the way through. But they're not gonna find the 2 in their own jungle just yet. So yeah, Godot does go up on the cliff, takes out that vision. But it's complete mirroring here from Invasion, but they also have the added advantage that the Dragon Knight can push a lane low.
Yeah. And it's hard to really defend against that Gyro because he can just right click you. Team jungling coming out from CSW.
5-man jungle. BKB for Shaitan, no Blink Dagger, which you thought maybe a good idea to get that extra little bit of initiation power.
The team just agreed on like no rush 40 or something.
We have not seen any relocates. We've definitely not seen any aggressive relocates. Have we seen any defensive ones?
I think we've seen a defensive one.
Feels like maybe one.
I don't know. The game has been so long. Nobody. I've seen some creeps being killed. Have you seen that?
Can we go back to last hits and denies and just actually look at the numbers there? There have been many creep deaths. So many, it's a genocide of lane creeps and neutral creeps and every kind of creep. Bristleback though not looking too good. 87 last hits for 10 denies. Item progression is Crimson Guard into 2,000 gold.
Bristleback at 20 CS in the past 10 minutes. Holy. He's got a Crimson Guard.
He's got that going for him, which is nice, I guess. Wisp with 12 last hits.
Actually, Crimson Guard will render all of the wall illusion to really put out no physical damage. Close to. But I think the wall, in this case, in terms of what it steals, is pretty big. If you steal Shadow Fiend, that is a chunk of minus armor. That's like... Actually, that's a lot of minus armor.
Yeah.
Alright, Dota's happening. They smoked. Here
Holy crap, they used an item which can potentially be used aggressively. Moving over towards the Roche Pit, they know it's alive. There's a DD rune there. They spot out WTF and catch him. Echo Slam. They're using their ultimates to kill a hero. Dragon Knight drops. And now Roshan gonna be the prize at the end.
Is it gonna get given up for free? Buyback immediately. Have they relocate? Are they relocating in? No, they're just walking in. I don't think that's gonna be quickly enough.
Oh, the DD on SF. Do they know about the DD?
I think they've seen it.
It's pretty close. It was nighttime, so I'm not sure. They're going to get the Roshan here. One more right click in. The BKB is popped, and now WTF, they've found the ES. In comes now the relocate. Jarkopter drops the cooldown. The wall is gone. But Wedding Crash is left alone here. 2D's on the retreat, and it's 3-4 versus 1. Shadowfiend's going to drop and lose his first life only, though. And he slowly, surely does die. Slicks is going to TP out. Chains gets a splitter thrown. Now Jarkopter's caught.
That team fight went on so long that I'm not even sure. It was just a 2 for... It was 1 for 1 with the Aegis being used on Shadowfiend.
Yes. Which is a win for CSW because Jarkopter dies. It doesn't allow them to push high ground.
Well, they don't have a 15k goal lead yet, so you can't push without them. You have to have a 15k goal lead and then you farm 20 more minutes.
What is the gold lead? 0. Excellent.
This game's completely even, guys. Could go either way.
Well, we're going to see a Blink Dagger over on Godot. The Winter Wyvern will then have some way to jump forward and get that Winter's Curse down onto someone like the Darkseer, the Wisp, the Witch Doctor. Fisher is ready for the Earthshaker to cancel out things like the Death Ward. Like, you imagine if Extinct had Aghanims in that team fight, it would be crushing. And to be fair, he's not far away from it. He is now 400 gold until he gets Aghanims actually stacking up jungle camps, and he has been farming relatively efficiently, throwing out casks, farming up these centaurs and tomatoes, potatoes, whatever there are, little doggies.
I'm on just auto spectate on DK.
Just follow the DK.
We're farming, right? So gotta see what creeps.
Well, if there's anyone on Invasion that's actually going to go for an aggressive play, it's going to be Shadowblade DK.
That's why I have it on him.
Damn right. Slicks farming Ancients, 3,000 gold over in the Jarkopter. What do you think comes next? Like, Shadowfiend is the only real right clicker on CSW. I don't count Bristleback really in this game. You know, if you had AC, Sand and Yashra, or if it was a one-roll Bristleback, I'd say, yep, he's a full-on right-clicking hero.
I think Bristleback is dealing extra damage just simply from his passive, right? The cold stack. What would Pink get?
Normally I'd say Butterfly, but here, after MKB, just finish off Satanic?
Yeah, sure. I think that's fine. Although he's just gonna save the buyback. Here we go. The fight's gonna happen. We're losing.
Tier 3 is getting pushed pretty damn hard as 2D and Wedding Crash clear up some illusions. You're right. Now stun out. WTF finds his back to the wall. The Death Ward flies, and this is it. Wedding Crash, Requiem out. The Winner's Curse on the Shaitan. As WTF is forced to fight his own teammate, but splashing out. Wedding Crash now healed up by his Winter Wyvern, who's already dropped. That Aghanims upgrade from Witch Doctor, perfectly timed.
Huge miscommunication from Winter Wyvern and the Shadowfiend. Well, I think just mostly a huge misplay by Godot. So what happened was Shadowfiend was winding up his Requiem, and Darkseer was like right next to him. So what Darkseer would have done was taken like, I don't know, 80% of his health in damage. And then right before he gets Requiem, Winter Wyvern blinked in and used the ult on the Darkseer, which by the way applies a 70% damage reduction. So that Requiem did nothing to the Darkseer.
And then the DK was already in his level 3 dragon form, yes? So he was splashing out. He was attacking his teammate, but he was still splashing out onto like the Shadowfiend and things like this, so... Any way you look at it, it didn't really work out too well for CSW, so they lose a bunch of heroes. They get the tier 3, no racks falling just yet. But again, big fight for Invasion as Witch Doctor's Aghanims paying off. They get a gem from the Winter Wyvern.
For free, yeah.
So they can also go looking to D-ward through.
Oh, there's that Silver Edge. Here we go.
Dragon Knight. How much is the recipe? They changed it from like 300 to 600.
Yeah, they nerfed it by quite a bit. Dude, there's the double damage Shadow Blow. Let's go.
Oh, damn. Winter Wyvern, 1100 HP. WTF, go on. You know you want to. Just go in there, find that kill, regardless of who's behind the Wyvern.
Well, he's actually kind of afraid, because if you look at it from his perspective, everybody's missing off the map. Like, essentially, everybody's missing off the map. Just gonna play it safe. And they can.
A Wedding Crash buys himself up some lifesteal with Helm of the Dominator. And Jarkopter did finish off the Satanic. But he just wants to keep going on in these fights, tanking through everything, making sure he doesn't drop to a Requiem. Leshrac, Chains. Now, this hero, we've seen so much potential from it, but I just haven't felt his power. Like, it's just sort of this unchained power from Leshrac that is available for CSW. It just hasn't really shone.
Yeah, I think if you're picking kind of fighting carry, I see Leshrac as a fighting carry. I'm not sure how you see him.
Like, it's like a farm for 12 or 13 minutes and then just continually fight.
Yeah, fight, pressure tower. And a big part of that is, you know, the lightning is such a good AoE fighting spell that gives you slow. You could edict tower after you win those fights. And Leshrac is just farming. If you pick a farming hero, there's better farming heroes. Actually, we're going to see a Heaven's Halberd instead of a Silver's Edge. It seems like we're going to combine the Talisman of Evasion with the Sanj.
Oh, interesting. Winter Wyvern, where are you losing HP? Up at top. Cooldown. Slick saved by his teammate, Lord Boons. Can he try and tether across to the creep wave? No, he can't.
Go, that says got him. Got the last hit. Worth.
Easy, Katka. But now they have to move down to bot to defend their tier 3. 2D has Sanj, could go into SNY. Halberd here, how good is this? Because there's BKB on Slicks, BKB on Dragonite. Probably not too great for the Bristle to go for a Halberd, so SNY probably just increases your damage output, chasing power, fighting for the DK and Gyrocopter. Wyvern buys another gem. Dragonite, Dragonite, Dragonite. WTF pops his dragon form. Chains, if you had gone one step down that ramp like now, goes on the 2D in fact. Will catch him, pops his BKB, stunned up. Bristleback can't run, can't hide. They'll back you back into cooldown and Death Ward. No bounces, but 2D will give away his life for this.
Yeah, the
big expenditure though from Invasion.
The co-embrace actually kept him alive for such a long time because Witch Doctor also does physical damage, which gets blocked. But now they removed one person, they still got the wall up for a bit. They could just keep going. Darkseer is already looking at his vacuum cooldown, but no, they'll back off and farm some more.
Well, like BKB for the Darkseer is gone, as well as the Dragon Knight. There's no Shadow Blade. For a kill on a Bristleback, that seems like an awful lot to throw out there. I
think it's better to get that kill almost as quickly as you can, almost instantaneously, than just wait it out and save a couple of spells, because you're next to a T3, and if his team could come in with a mech or a fissure block, that could suddenly get really ugly really fast.
If you'd sort of reversed the positions and Leshrac had been more forward and the Bristleback further back, the Leshrac kill would have been a lot bigger.
Yeah.
Oh, both teams going to smoke into each other here. Do we have a smoke for the Radiant? Yeah, it's on the Courier. As the Dire have already smoked themselves up. This is going to be head on head. 5 versus 5 as both sides prepping, ready, waiting. The Dire have an Observer Ward. I'm pretty sure they've seen it. They walk straight in. TM is caught, and here we go. Requiem, but Death Ward is extinct. It's ripping them all apart. One by one, getting plinked away by the Death Ward, bouncing between them all. And Wedding Crash turns to Fire Flicks. The MKB taking away his HP. Now the homing missiles. More boots as the Gyro tethered up. CSW.
Well, it's not over yet. 2D's going to clean up Beauty. He's doing a ton of damage. Splinter Blast's going to get 1 kill, but this Gyrocopter is just too big, too fat, and the self-close embrace almost gets him killed. The cast is going to bounce between 2 heroes. My goodness, Maledicт will miss as a result, but Chains are going to tank the whole creep wave trying to kill Extinct, excuse me. He will actually go down as a result. I think he just double died. Is that what happened?
The Leshrac.
Yeah.
It feels like he respawned really quickly and got back into the fight and then died again.
Yeah, that's the case. I think he BLT's it. So, huge victory for Invasion. I don't think they're going to go away. The gold grab suddenly went from a 0 goal lead from Invasion to like a 5k goal lead. They'll go back to defend, to farm a little bit. But,
yeah, the first kill in the team fight was on Leshrac by Gyro, then the last kill in the team fight was Gyro killing Lesh again. That could have gone a lot worse for CSW. Like, they could have been wiped there, lost their tier 3 and maybe even racks, but they killed the DK and the Darkseer, so you know, they hold their base. Definitely not great for them, though. That Death Ward is just completely destroying them. If they don't have Earthshaker or someone to actually focus on, okay, Witch Doctor duty, that's my job, that's what I've got to do. Then the Death Ward is just bouncing everywhere. They've got Crimson Guard, which, you know, doesn't block the Death Ward damage. They've got Mech, which is okay. but they've got no real way to sustain, especially for Wyvern and or Leshrac, to actually deal. Okay, there's Ghost Scepter over on Chain, so that's one way they can deal with it. But then the magic damage output from Gyrocopter and Dogs here is pretty hefty.
It's so interesting that he actually finished, or sorry, he picked up the Ghost Scepter right before he finished his Hex. Oh, he has it too. Okay. Alright, he's got everything. First time that net worth lead past 5,000 gold, now going in favor of... Okay.
The furthest it had been was 2.5k for Invasion, then swung back up to like a 500.
Hey, we have a 5,000 gold lead.
Well, we've got a... It's heading towards 10k actually. 7.5k in climbing as Invasion picking up the pace. Same with Experience, they're heading towards 10,000. Roshan is alive again as well, so Invasion can be looking towards that as they're pulling the old strat. The Gyrocopter split pushing top with the Wisp behind them. Never under any threat. And Wedding Crash. I mean, you've got your Satanic, but... if you can't finish someone off, what good is it?
I think what we should take a look at is, in the upcoming games against Invasion, is if Wisp is not banned, do they just keep on first picking it? Probably. Oh, the Roshan just spawned. But everybody walked out of it.
They want to fight first. They want a big fight. Bait them into the Gyrocopter. What's CSW's plan here? Do they go back into their base? Do they hide?
They could smoke into the Roche.
That's true.
That's exactly what they'll do.
Radiant Observer. CSW, how aware are you? They would have seen it. They would have seen it picked up if there was someone watching.
Wait, what just got picked up?
Bounty Rune.
Okay.
Next to the Radiant Observer while they were smoked.
Yeah, I don't think anybody watches.
No. It's one of those things though, like there's that sort of 5% chance or whatever, if someone's, or even less, if someone's watching, it's a big show, or it's a big tell, but most of the time no one's watching, so the information just never gets gleaned. There's Blink Dagger for the DK now, I like this.
Yeah, I like this quite a bit, although I'm not sure whether Blink is better than finishing the Silver Edge.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. Well, you can't finish Silver Edge now, you went for the Halberd, so...
Halberd Silver Edge?
No, I mean, he doesn't have the sand anymore.
Yeah, just build another one.
Another sand.
Yeah. Double make. Okay, another Shadow Blade activation. Looks like they're gonna just force the Roche, because here comes CSW.
Cavalry incoming. Godot, this could be a good time to get a big Winter's Curse. There are two heroes in the pit. 2D walks in. What's that here in this vacuum? Now the wall. No, it's not dropped yet. But one's obliterated. Winter Wyvern gone. Echo Slam. Not going to hit anyone. The Death Ward's bouncing between them all. 2D drops. And when it crashes on the retreat, slowed down. Requiem will do a D. No! Stunned at the last second. Gem is dropped. And the Wisp will relocate back in. They lose the Dogs here. Didn't get the wall off, but they didn't even need it.
Yep. I mean, all they really needed for them to do is just get a vacuum off and everything else follow.
And then to kill the Winter Wyvern.
Yeah.
He did actually use Winter's Curse. Who did he use it on?
He used it, I believe, on... It was somebody that was up close and personal. Was it like the Wisp? It was Wisp or Gyro. And DK was attacking him like madman. But what's really the biggest carry in that fight was Extinct, like you said. He warded from the high ground. And then that ward just pew pew pew, and everyone died.
He's not even level 16. He's nearly got a BKB. Getting into that level 16 Death Ward. Man. CSW have got a lot of work to do to defend their base. As now Godot looking for the harass down onto Slicks, who's blinking away at that tier 3. Bot lane though, 6 range creeps, 5 range creeps plus catapult. WTF are just hammering away at tier 3. They've got the split push going, and CSW, do you get corralled into a situation where you have to go 4 versus 3 or 4 versus 1? Because Slicks, you get him, Yules up into Fisher. Oh, WTF flicks forward, Godot now caught. He's got no ult, he's got no blink, no escape, no Yules. Just dies instantly as a Death Ward. Extinct just throws it out, no reason not to. Force them back to turn them from defending. Bristleback, it's time to buy back, because now your team is being obliterated. Chains too far forward as Wedding Crash is getting slowed. The wall is dropped onto the SF. They've got the illusion going. Wedding Crash, what's your buyback status? No buyback. Needs 40 gold. This is going to be it if he dies, but he gets back into the fountain just in time. Slicks is pretty damn deep behind tier 4s. Now it's a good picture. Fly jumps in, 3-4-3. And Charm Totem, they get the wedge, but Slicks is left alone. godlike streak for him as he just continues chasing.
It's getting kind of back and forth though, but here comes a little bit of help. DK's gonna get off the stun. They get yet another kill. CSW, high ground completely breach. Calldown's gonna get used more or less for the zoning tech. But here comes mid lane completely destroyed. They're now moving on top. Multiple buybacks, and this buyback is coming in with the relocate. Blink 4 on DK looking for a stun.
Wisp and Gyro were just like on zoning duty. DK is like building, taking these objectives.
And speaking building, second lane Rex is down.
Wedding Crash stunned up. DK does get caught in that Winter's Curse, but Shadow Fiend without buyback available. Slicks is cleaning up house. Godot dead. Gyro with a double kill and maybe even more, but GG is called as Invasion tie things up 1-1 here in this 2-game series.
Invasion should be happy putting themselves on the board. This is one of those wins that, like, the game was so long and so brutal if you lost. Good thing they won it. And yeah, against the flip thing could be said on the other side. That was a soul crushing loss for CSW.
It always felt like Invasion had it in their hands. Like it was always their game to lose. That's the way it sort of seemed. The way they itemized, the way they controlled the lanes, and everything was so crisp and efficient this game with the Wisp. You know, they showed flashes of it in game number 1. The fact that they were sort of pushing lanes and farming relatively safely, and they knew the limits of their heroes. This game, it was just executed that little bit better. Then they also had the sort of pushing power to actually follow through. They had a good mix of team fight, pushing, and single target. But yeah, 1-1 as both teams, you know, get 1 point up on the board in the group stage.